actual semifinals ahead of us. Right in front of us, shall we say, a best of 3 TvP kicking it off here on Post Youth, where over here in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left, we of course have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He of course is going to be representing his team, Twisted Minds. No fairy to be found here. We have the chat toss himself. It's Classic.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion, the one only non-Protoss player in the tournament. Can he make a deeper run? Can he make it to the finals? It is a ByuN. And very quickly, if you are in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think is going to be our first finalist.
Get your gamba, as they say. And it's actually kind of interesting. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen ByuN make it this far in ESL Open Cup, at least in ESL Asia.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we often see Classic, we see Hero, we see Solar, we see Dark as well. It's great to see ByuN once again. As you mentioned, it feels like it's been a while since we've been able to embrace him further on in these tournaments. So, yeah, it's definitely a treat.
Yeah, gotta cherish it whilst we can. And speaking of treats and cherishings, Hyperbase. Post Youth is our first map in this series, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little shocked. Like, not only that it made it through the veto process, but it's also gonna be the first map that we see here today. Or in this series.
Yeah, like as you're alluding to, like this is the first time we're seeing Post Youth tonight as well, right? Like we have yet to really embrace Post Youth at all in all these games. But it isn't just that, but even seeing Amphion earlier today was interesting. It's again, these Korean players, they often are not afraid of some of these maps, not as afraid as some of the other regions are, you know, where they have like these more prim and proper veto system. You know, here in the Korean scene, we're like, you know what? Let's play on Post Youth. You know, let's play on Amphield. Let's play on Crimson Core. You know, why not? Why not? Let's play on Dynasty.
Yeah. So use a random number generator, you know?
Yeah.
Figure out which map we veto.
Yeah, they do like to spice it up. Meanwhile, ByuN going for the SCV across the map, going for a proxy starport. Looks like a Hellion opener, and there's the add-on solve for those Hellions. Looks like ByuN is planning on going for a bit of a drop into the main.
Yeah, this was a couple of months ago. I would say it could be a Cyclone drop, but no, it's going to be a Hellion drop, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, this Mass Cyclone has been killed as a playstyle. It's not really a thing anymore, thankfully. But still plenty of ways to be aggressive and assertive here in the Terran versus Protoss matchup. Hellions are arriving. We have the Reaper on the ground as well. The starport so far has been unscouted. Looking at the vision here, Classic has no vision or no scouting whatsoever, so he is in the dark, and that is not a medevac.
No, it is not. The Liberator coming out from that starport, and this is going to be pretty interesting. I mean, there is an opening here for ByuN to go through that wall. Classic going to have to be very, very on point with force fields or even just plugging his wall with a pylon.
Yeah, that's the thing as we shut down an SCV, but that's the thing that it's going to be difficult with these Hellions to break through because there's only one entrance into both bases, and it's quite narrow as well, so best of luck to that KDA charge as the Oracle gets across the map and SCVs are going down.
Unless ByuN mules through the middle wall.
You're crazy, Papi, you're crazy. He's going in! The wall!
He's going under the wall, it's on the wall! Those are 6 Hellions as well, by the way, so ByuN gonna be diving on through. He took SCV damage earlier on, but now he is looking to reciprocate while Classic is distracted with all these Hellions. That Liberator is also going ham in a middle line. 20 probes! 20 probes and counting have just gone down.
21 probes go down with a massive risk, a massive dive into the main base. ByuN, he just threw caution to the wind, Papi, and we have more than paid for ourselves. That is over a mineral line worth of workers falling, and ByuN has a massive lead.
Mineral line plus 6.
Up! Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, more than a mineral line, almost as much as a mineral line plus 2 gas geysers.
Yeah,
That is insane damage this early on.
it
Could see
is.
ByuN skyrocket ahead when it comes to the income.
And on top of that, we have the Oracle being shut down. The Oracle just went down to the Cyclones as well, and that's going to be shading into the main, and there's so much pressure on Classic to get damage done here, but alas, we have far too much. We have 4 Cyclones to defend back at home. He's going back Cyclone. Making 6.
Bro thinks it's February.
He thinks it's 4 months ago, Poppy. It's crazy. And I mean, to be fair, this is kind of going to work out. This is a great defensive unit. We should be stopping. No, never mind. We're making 8 Cyclones now. Let's go. Stim is on the way. It's not going to be mech, but regardless, ByuN has a very secure map control at the moment, and Classic is stuck at home.
Yeah, not a whole lot he can do. He's making Immortals, and he's teching into Colossus. Very expensive units, to be honest, after losing 20 probes early on, but realistically, what else can Classic do at this point?
Yeah, what
he
else?
Just has to scrimp and save and get those Immortals as Phoenix goes down.
Yeah, another Phoenix goes down. We got the Lock-ons as well. The other Phoenix will barely survive. The Immortal looking a little bit exposed, but with 3 Cyclones left, it looks like we don't quite have enough to break through. The Immortal does so much with those Cyclones, and Classic will barely hold. As I say that, ooh, so we can't bleed out too much.
Yeah, Sentry goes down. Look at the units lost tab or the battle report. 1 Phoenix, 1 Sentry, 3 Adepts for the cost of 3 Marines and 3 Cyclones. Technically a better trait for Classic, but obviously not enough of a better trait that it makes up for the fact that he is this far behind economically.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's a better trade, but we can't really afford to trade too much right now as we're desperately expanding, taking a 3rd base. Classic is moving out with a bare bones army with 1 Immortal, 1 Colossus, 2 Sentries, and 2 Stalkers. We have force fields, sure, but yeah, this army, you have to be so careful with it. We cannot afford to lose any of these high-tech units.
We had force fields. And yeah, now we really don't. SCV is being pulled, and they will get a full surround on the Immortal. GG is called, and ByuN takes a very cheeky game number 1 here on Post Youth. He had something planned, and he went straight for it. It was high risk, but a very high reward here coming out from ByuN.
The highest of rewards. Like, killing 21 probes is far more than should have happened. That was an insane amount of damage done. Again, just Classic was pulled apart left and right by the Liberators, by the Hellions, and that did win ByuN the game. The game went on a little bit longer from there, but really Classic was just a dead man walking at that point, and with that, ByuN takes a lead.
Yeah. Game was done. He was just playing.
Let him play, Pappy. Let him play. Oh my god. And yeah, with that, we're going to be settling into that 2nd game. We're going to be loading into Side Delta as game number 2. One of the more standard maps. We went from high octane to something a little bit more standard, but I'm sure ByuN has another plan on this map as well.
Yeah. This time, potentially the medevac?
We could go for a proxy medevac, could go just for a straight up proxy instead. I'm curious, I'm excited.
Oh yeah. But speaking of curious excitement, speaking of curious excitement, we're gonna continue our series now onto Site Delta. Over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right. We, of course, have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing his team, Twisted Minds. No Fairy. We have Classic.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN.
Show me where the SCV moves, ByuN. Show me where you're going, what you've got.
Show us what you got. I mean, for now, it looks like a standard opener, but it's still quite soon. There's at least no proxy. There's no proxy out of the map. We're not spicing things up too much too quickly, but we'll get there. And Likewise, will Classic have the opportunity to get into his own game? Because the reality is that he was kind of knocked down before he could really stand up in that last game.
Yeah. What is the term? I think it was a term in running or something like that. Your leg falls off before the shot.
Never heard of that term before, but sure, yeah, I believe you, yeah. There you go.
You were buried before you died, or something like that.
Yeah, you know, you drowned before you could swim.
Arrested Development, something like that.
But yeah, I'm hoping that Classic can get into at least his mid game here, into his tech of choice. For the time being, we're just calming things down. We can see here was a single gas opener from ByuN. That means a faster command center, so this time a much more economic start. Oh, actually, it's going to be a Rax expand into 3cc.
Okay. Hey, first 3cc before Starport, and this is a bit of a...
I said 3cc. Rax expand into 3 Rax is what I meant to say, not 3cc. My apologies.
I like how I didn't even bother to look at the production tab. I was like, yeah, 3cc, yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna double check that. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
You understood what I meant. It's okay. What we're referring to, it's 2021 all over again here, going for a very heavy bio-committed push, which can do quite well against a Stargate opener.
Yeah, depending on obviously how you position your Marines, what units are going to come out from the Stargate, which in this case is going to be an Oracle. I think the 5 Marines this early on is not a full picture of what ByuN has gotten, but I think Classic, just based on how ByuN has been playing tonight, might be able to piece a couple of things together.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned that Classic is going to go Oracle into 1 Phoenix again. If you remember, he stayed on a very low Phoenix count against ByuN as well. And if he doesn't really invest too heavily into units, if he's a little bit too tech greedy, then this sim timing can just kill him. But I believe he should be going for a safety immortal, and that will help. That will help here in the defense.
Oh, yeah. Mortals, they really live up to the name early on, especially against units like Marauders. As long as you can utilize that Guardian Shell, so long as you have enough shield batteries to retreat back to. Meanwhile, we do get a reveal on top of this army, so Classic, yeah, he knows. He's well aware of what's coming his way.
We already have a safety shield battery. Should be making Immortals, as we mentioned before, just to prepare, just to have an army to defend, and there it is, Immortals on the way. And because of this should go into a longer game. Like, there's potential for this 3 Rax timing, or this dim timing, to end the game, but it's not supposed to. It's not designed to. So we can, from here, macro on up and settle into the mid game.
Yeah, slowly but surely. ByuN pushing out with his little Bioforce. And I'm liking the SimCity so far. It doesn't take that many force fields to body block. The boys have been pulled.
We started +1.
Wait, hold up. We started +1.
Yeah, I was so
we built the missile turret.
We did. We scout the boys being pulled, and we have force field potential. If we can force field the ramp, we can end the game. Like, that's all we need right now. We need to be on point. We can slice up the army, and there we go. We do slow the game down. GG gets called. That's all we needed, and Classic ties up the series. Let's go.
The correct move from Classic, the game-winning move, instantly won by blocking that ramp. But also, ByuN, why pull the boys? He was begging to get force fielded like that by pulling the boys. I feel like if he continued mining with all those SCVs back at home, that Bioforce wouldn't really get too much done. But the game wouldn't have been over.
So just winding it back a little bit here, as you mentioned, like a 3-Rax follow-up is not an all-in, but ByuN turned it into an all-in. It did throw me off guard. I think the +1 was a fake out. Like, if you remember, +1 was revealed to the Oracle, but the Oracle just went straight to the natural and just confirmed. The Oracle confirmed what was happening, and even if the Oracle didn't confirm, we already had the sentries. The sentries were already in position, because that's how you defend against 3-Raxes if you scout it, is with force field. So Yeah, that was a wild move out of ByuN. Didn't quite work out, and
Yeah.
now we're going to the ace match already.
ByuN is rolling the dice tonight,
He is.
or at least in this series against Classic. He is betting everything on black, and just seeing. And in game number 1, that paid massive dividends.
Yeah.
In game number 2, he lost all his money.
Did.
Lost everything. That was, questionable. But regardless, we're going to be concluding our best of 3 semifinals here. Going to be figuring out who is going to be our first finalist of the evening, as we're tied up 1-1. Over here on Oceanborn, to end things off, over in the top left-hand corner map, spotting all the way in the top left, we of course have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing his team, Twisted Minds. We have the chat toss himself. We have Classic.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, being forced into a tied-up series. Ooh, going for a bit of a hidden Rax over here, which is immediately scouted. It is ByuN.
This is like, ByuN is starting a new Vegas run and dumping all his stats into luck.
He is, and my apologies, I thought the probes saw the Rax, but no, we have not. Okay, we're about to double check just in case, and we should barely, we get eyes on the Rax. So Classic confirms that there is no proxy. This was a bit of a fake out by ByuN. Doesn't quite pay off though, as Classic does confirm. Actually kind of paid off, as Classic sent out a second probe. It does deny some mining time for at least a moment.
Yeah. Not the biggest of deals here. It's not going to disrupt Classic's build by too much, but it does keep him on his toes for a little bit. Does keep him honest, and forces him to pay attention, question mark, which in a way might actually be better for him.
Yeah, it's possible, I mean, regardless, it did deny or did delay some mining time of Classic as he pulled the extra probe. Now we're going into our expansion. We can see ByuN just going for a rack to expand himself. He cancels the second gas, and he's going for another 3 racks. Wait, does ByuN have somewhere to be? Are we going to turn out a 4th racks? We are. It's going to be a 4 racks.
Yep.
It's an all-in. I mean, this is hyper committed. Yep.
Everything that we've had so far has been a fake out. We have 0 gas right now. Classic is not aware of that at the moment. I don't think, was able to confirm the fact that ByuN canceled. That gas.
He canceled both gas geysers. Like, look at the vision of Classic. He saw 2 gases, then we have 0.
Oh, okay then. We also have this CC though.
True.
So it's not fully I mean, it's still completely committed. I mean, ByuN is going all in. He has to go all in.
I think he's gonna.
But also, he's not as committed as he should be.
I think he's gonna pull the boys with this. I'll be honest. But the crazy thing about this is that Classic going for a proxy. If he was a 2-gate opener. Okay, we gotta calm down. 2-gate opener out of Classic, going for a 3rd gateway across the map. Classic is being hyper aggressive. I think this favors Classic. He's gonna be in the face of ByuN already with a handful of gateway units, and when ByuN commits, and there's a 5th Rax on the way. We already have 4.
These are going to be vanilla Marines making their way across the map eventually, but he's going to have a lot of them?
He will.
I want this to succeed so badly. You have no idea,
like this potential in this. The problem is that Classic is in his face. Like, here we go, we're warping in across the map. We have a 3rd gateway finishing up as well. Like, Classic is gonna be here to slow him down immediately, and it's gonna take so long for this to get across the map.
That's a 6 racks!
It's a 2-base 6 racks all in. Let's go.
You have no idea how much I want to see this work, chat.
Oh my god.
I want to see this succeed, but as I was saying, is Classic has kind of tilted everything against ByuN's favor for this to work.
Like, look how it's softened up this army is already, and we haven't killed a single Stalker yet. I mean, they're getting low, don't get me wrong. It does get on top of one of these Stalkers, but we bleed out too much, and we're gonna lose every single Marine.
We're not even gonna see the push! GG gets called, and Classic takes it.
Press the button. G GG, well played. Basically, ByuN was hard countered because of the build, which is why we were freaking out about the proxy gateway, because Classic was in his face. If Classic was more passive, if Classic went for a Stargate opener into an Oracle, if Classic went for just a more standard game, then ByuN would have the freedom to get into his all-in, but that's not what happened. As you said, you know, we gambled, Papi. We gambled it all.
Yeah. ByuN just kept taking big risks and kept succeeding until he didn't. And yeah, with that, that's going to be the end of the non-Protoss, as we do have our PvP finals confirmed.
Is this what you wanted?
Is this what you wanted? Either Cyan or Hero.
Is this what you wanted,
I'm not sure if this was what I wanted, but I'm glad we got to at least witness ByuN versus Classic, because that was a series and a half. That was a series that we don't see. I mean, okay, ByuN versus Classic, that is something that we see fairly often, semi-often, semi-regularly.
Sure, yeah.
I should say, that level of gambling by ByuN is not something we see every day, and I'm glad we were able to witness it at least once here. It didn't work out for him in the end, but it was a fun series.
It was a fun series. It was a great series. As you mentioned, it was ByuN rolling the dice every game. Even the game that he won, he rolled the dice on. So just hyper aggression out of ByuN.
Yeah.
And in the end, GG, well played. Classic does take it. Classic advances on to the grand finals, and Classic is waiting for his Protoss opponent, waiting for either Hero or Cyan.
Indeed, we have that confirmed. Locked down. PvP finals. Cyan took out Jesha 2-1, which again, very close series between the two. I would probably rank them about the same level, very neck and neck. So yeah, I'm glad that we were able to get a full ace match out of that. And now it's Cyan going up against Hero. I don't believe we have, we don't really have any updates yet, but they are both in game, so, potentially, still in game 1.